Hi, welcome along to ArsenalFanTV. Time to preview the game. Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. Monday game. Why Monday, man? I don't like these Monday games. You know what I mean? You've got to wait the whole weekend, watch games on a Saturday, Sunday, go for everybody else's games before you get to your game on Monday. And we've got 2 Monday games in a row as well. What's going on? I think it's kind of got something to do with the fact that Arsenal are no longer really in a title race, but there are still a big pool. So let's fling them on a Monday. It must be something like that. But listen, we're up against Crystal Palace and it's not going to be an easy game. I know that Palace lost their last game and we won our last game, and it's always about momentum, but it's not going to be an easy game. Crystal Palace have been playing very well up until that defeat that they had the other day. The key to this game for both teams is how they defend. Arsenal, how do we defend and how do we cope with the attacking players that Crystal Palace have? Because they have very good attacking players. Wilfried Zaha, dangerous, tricky, out on that wing, a very, very dangerous player if he's not contained. And we've seen Hector Bellerin and Monreal recently not be able to cope with quick, fast wingers. Look at Leroy Sané last week, what he did to Bellerin. Gonna have to do much better up against somebody like Zaha, either him or Monreal. Then, of course, in the box now, they've got Christian Benteke. Again, a very, very good player. A player that's on form at the moment, who's been scoring goals for fun. He's a handful. He's quick. He's strong. He's good in the air. How do we handle him? There's no Koscielny probably going to be for that game. So probably be Gabriel in there, who's, you know, he's come in and he's done all right so far, Gabriel, but he's going to have to be at his best. And it's good, I think, actually, over the last couple of games, I've seen very positive signs from Mustafi. He's kind of returning back to the Mustafi that we saw at the start of the season over the last couple of games. But they're going to have to be on the money in that game because attacking-wise, Crystal Palace have got a very, very good side. Also, how are Crystal Palace going to be able to cope with our attack? Because, again, our strength is in attack. Alexis Sanchez, Welbeck, Theo Walcott, who's been scoring goals for fun this season as well. You know, we've got a very good attacking team. And if you look at Crystal Palace, they've got so many injuries in defence. This is a real booster also. If you look at it, they're missing Scott Dan, who's out with an injury. James Tompkins is out injured. Patrick Van Arnold is out injured. Yohan Cabaye is doubtful that I know he's not a defender, but it's doubtful that he'll play, and he's normally sort of that deep lying sort of midfield player for them. So we've really got an opportunity to get a really depleted defence for Crystal Palace. And we kind of know that Palace are going to play on the counter-attack. It's a Sam Allardyce team. We know what he's going to do. He's going to pack the defence and try and catch us on the break. And, you know, he'll look at recent games and know that maybe set pieces and things like that. And the usual Sam Allardyce tactic where maybe they win the ball in their own half and they load up our box and try and get balls into the box, into Benteke, so that other players can feed off of, you know, the scraps, the second balls. He'll deploy that definitely. And of course, as I said, they'll use the wing, they'll use the width, because that's what a lot of other teams have been using against us. So basically, which defence is going to crack first? For me, that is what will decide the game. One encouraging thing, even though I know we've been dreadful away from home, you know, if you look at our away record, I think we've lost our last 3 away games, which is dreadful, right? But against Palace, we've got a good record. We haven't lost to them in the last 6 games. I think it's 4 wins and 2 losses. You know, 4 wins and 2 draws. Decent record against Crystal Palace. Decent record going there as well to Selhurst Park. There'll be loads of Arsenal fans there. It'll be a Monday night. It should be a really interesting game. The other thing we have to factor in is this game means a lot to both teams, right? So Palace, in their survival, they really could do with like getting a minimum of a point out of the game, but 3 points would be something that would take them clear of the relegation zone because they're not safe yet. They're still in deep relegation trouble, even though they've been on this great run recently up until when they got beaten by Southampton in their last game. But, you know, they really need a win to get away from that relegation zone, especially if the results over Saturday and Sunday don't go their way. Arsenal, we need a win if we're going to get into that top four. It was a good win against West Ham the other day, but we could do with winning this game to try and get into that top four, because if you look at the other games of some of our competitors for that top four spot over the weekend, City, I think they got Hull, Man United, Sunderland, I mean, you'd expect them to destroy those teams. So we really need to get a win to stay, you know, within striking distance of those top four places. So it's going to be a really, really interesting game. I'm really, really looking forward to it. The spirits have been lifted a bit after that, you know, really good, emphatic win over West Ham. As I said, we've got some players that are playing well at the moment, like Theo Walcott. Mustafi's been improving. Xhaka had a much better performance in that game. So spirits are lifted a bit, and it's a confidence thing. So, you know, if they could get back-to-back wins at Arsenal, you know, that would really set us up to try and, you know, get a really good run in going up until the end of the season. Let me give you my team. If Ospina's still injured, I go Martinez in goal. He did nothing wrong the other night. Bellerin at right back. Mustafi, Gabriel if Koscielny's injured. If Koscielny's fit enough for the game, obviously he comes back in. Monreal, I'd go... Now, this is the problem, the midfield, because I was thinking, should we play Ox? But I'm going to stick with Xhaka and El Neni. I thought they played decent the other night. Ozil, very good performance. I thought man of the match the other night. He's got to be in there. Walcott definitely got to be in there. He's scoring goals for fun. He's been really, really good this season. Over on the left-hand side, I would have... Now, this is where I change things a bit. Welbeck on the left-hand side and Alexis down the middle. I think it was Lee Judges I was interviewing the other day, and he said, why have we shifted Alexis out wide? And he's right. Alexis was scoring so many goals at the start of the season when he was playing down the middle. And I've said this before many a times. I don't really like Alexis all the time playing on that left because he's too predictable. He always cuts inside. Always. Tell me when you ever see Alexis Sanchez get to the byline and say whip a ball in. He doesn't do it. He'll get to the byline, he'll cut back in, he'll try and do tricks, he'll try and come inside. They'll force him inside and try and pack it up in the middle of the box so that he can't get his passes in. I think play him down the middle. You've got Welbeck down that side who can help up. Welbeck's much better at helping out, you know, Monreal than, say, Alexis will be. Alexis doesn't really get back much. Welbeck will get up and down that things. And I think, you know, that is a better balance to the team. So that's the team I'd like to see and formation I'd like to see. Listen, we can win this game and we can go on a decent run. I think we will win the game as well. I really do think the confidence gained, even though it was only West Ham, the confidence gained from that win is going to get us on a little roll now.